riser in yard. Let's get it to the bottom.
You can see where the one pipe had been done.
Go ahead and zero that out. Yep. One more time. There you go. So this has all been replaced.
Yeah, I told you I did. It was like back in 20, I want to say 8 or 9. I had a collapse, so they came out and did it. And so I'm not sure if the company couldn't do the street, or if they said, oh, it wasn't bad enough, or we all know the problems once you hit the street, what you deal with.
A little bit of dirt in there, and that's probably just from opening the caps. Not a huge deal. A little bit of water, that'll rinse out. Here's where
it goes.
Stopped.
Yep, okay. So that's at 30 feet.
Yes, sir.
So this is what you got. We got to. Yeah, this is what we got to determine if it's something that can be. So there's some there, obviously.
Definitely got some root growing in.
Yep.
And that's pretty common for the clay.
Yep. The question is can it be in it? But it's a lot more water.
So the water that we're seeing, our camera sits about this far off the bottom. So what we're seeing there isn't a whole lot, to be honest.
Okay, that's good.
So honestly, I mean, it's obviously a belly and it will catch things, but as long as your tenants are being careful what they put in, you shouldn't ever have a problem.
Okay.
But you can definitely tell every connection definitely has a little bit of root growing in.
Okay.
Little offset here.
Yeah, this is where he said the buckle was that he could feel.
And you know, if you look at the bottom of the pipe, it's still together where flow is.
Okay.
So I mean, honestly, being a rental, it just depends on how you feel about it. You know,
well,
I mean, obviously, get rid of the old pipe. You won't have any roots. You won't have any problems.
Yeah.
Etc.
In a perfect world, is obviously it's always going to have to be done at some point.
Right.
The question is can I get away with it in 6 months, a year? And
now,
since I'm not working right now, I have no job. I mean, I got unemployment, but we don't know how long. I'm in the hospitality business. I don't know when. They basically said it might be 2021 if I come back to work at the same company, and they're like, wow.
So when I see an issue, if it's holding water and we're above our camera or holding up, say, to this line here, then that tells you that pipe's holding over half.
Okay.
We're not seeing that. As I was telling you, an eighth of an inch isn't horrible.
So another buckle.
Yeah, but you can see it's still together. I mean, this is just how clay tile was put together. I don't see anything that's telling me horrible issue yet.
All of your offsets are in the right place.
In the right place, yes.
Oh, they're on the bottom versus the top.
When they put them together, they would slide them together, lead yoke them. They would put concrete around. They would do whatever they can to keep them together, but they just kind of slip them together.
Yeah, because it's a flange. Exactly. It's just like it goes over them.
And they seal it with a yoke in it, basically. Some more root right here. And we're turning.
No, is that the city then?
We're coming to it. Let's see. We'll know when we get to the city. There's some root here. Got through it. That's the city.
And there's your city.
Okay.
Now it must have been the root ball that they were seeing with the city.
Yeah, I can show you the picture.
Look, you can see it.
Okay. So basically what you're saying is it's going to eventually have to be done, but in the meantime, if I threw in Root X every 6 months, I could get away with it for however long.
Well, this is my suggestion.
Yeah.
Having tree roots, they don't stop growing. Even if you put the Root X in there, it's going to stun them for a while, but they'll still grow back.
Sure, of course.
So my opinion is if you want to keep up on it, you have 2 2-way risers.
Yep.
Have a guy come out in a year from today.
Okay.
And just have it snaked out with a 4-inch blade.
Okay.
And what that 4-inch blade will do is it'll cut all those roots out of there and it'll get it cleaned out. If you preventively keep up on it, that's the key. Because if you don't, then eventually instead of it being like this, it's going to be like a branch going through it.
Yeah.
And that's not what you want.
So let me ask you a question.
Yes,
eventually, I'm going to turn around and sell it.
Okay.
Okay. And obviously, while I have it as a rental, I can use it as a write-off.
Right.
If you get called out on home inspections, is that going to pass a home inspection?
It would, as long as you got the roots completely cleaned out. Yeah, you would have to basically do a cable and a camera.
Okay. That's I guess my question is that, because eventually if I'm going to have to sell it, I know they do home inspections. When I bought it back in 2000, we didn't do this stuff, so you didn't know the problems.
True. I was around then, yeah.
And so ultimately, if I keep up with it, I could maybe pass a home inspection and not have to spend. If you were quoting me, what is it going to cost me to do that?
For out in the street like that, I'm guessing it's probably going to be close to probably 8 feet out there. It's going to be anywhere from probably 4,200 to 57. I don't know. This is just the top number.
No. I'm just asking the question because at some point I might just go ahead and decide, hey, I'm going to do it.
Yeah. And that's a spot repair, say, out in the street. Now, if we were going to repair to wherever the SDR is, where your plastic's been replaced to.
Well, that's what I would figure, right? If you're going to rip up the street,
might as well
spend the extra $1,000 or $2,000 and do it. I'm a guy who doesn't believe in doing half-ass.
Honestly, I look at these all day, and this line doesn't look horrible at all. It just needs to be maintained and cleaned once a year with a 4-inch blade.
Okay.
That's my suggestion.
Okay.
So, use your guys, whoever, it's fine.
Well,
whatever,
give me your card because, I mean, you never know. I mean, I don't care. Like I said, I've been out of the state, and so my property manager uses All Pro. He uses Uriah.
I got you.
And I guess he brought out Rob, a black guy, who I guess originally doing. I guess he used to work for you guys, or he knows Randy somehow.
Knows Randy, yes, he does.
So
yeah, it is.
He knew Randy, and so he said, "Hey, give him a call," because he didn't bring out his camera when they finally got it cleared. It started with, excavation until we found shit.
Right.
And I'm glad because I went from, hey, here's 500 for what you did versus 1,500.
No, I got you.
And you guys are telling me, hey, we might not need to do it. So, which is good to me.
I mean, that's pretty much up to you. In my opinion, I look at these every day.
Yeah.
And that line doesn't look horrible. Being a rental and you don't have a bunch of money right now.
Well,
honestly,
I have the money.
Doable.
It's just I don't know when I'm going to work. I might be next year before I work.
Next year when you want to dig it, then just let us know. We'll come out, do some locates, and we'll get you that exact estimate.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you right now, I think it's in pretty good shape. I don't think you're going to have any problems.
Okay.
You just need to keep up on getting it serviced once a year.
Once a year service.
Yes, sir.
And dumping